So I don't even think I need to be visible for this live, you know. You don't even need to see me. So I can block the camera and we can start the live whereby you don't have to see me in the live, you know. You don't have to see me in the live. I can be in the live, but you don't have to see me. So let me block the camera. You can just see the green screen without seeing me. So let me block the camera like that. So I'm not visible, but you can listen to the message. So shout out to everyone in the comments. Each one. So you know that the moon is in Cancer. Today is Wednesday or Dean's Day. Yesterday we didn't do Reparenting Tuesday because yesterday I was busy being reparented. You know, sometimes also daddy needs some love. You know what I'm saying? So now, we are going to have a very serious conversation. Niliona Kabuda alikuwa ameenda Churchill. Nimeona size 8 amekuwa preacher usiku TikTok. So we are going to talk about the fall from glory, why a lot of celebrities are crashing today, and why it's going to continue before tumalize year 8. So this will be about until March 2025. Hapo ndio watakuwa wamemaliza kucrash. And then come January 25th, 2025, we'll have finally shifted into the new shift, and the world will change from what you know the world to be today. Now, the moon is in Cancer, so you know you'll be reacting and responding to a lot of that energy, whereby you'll be reacting to home na vitu kama hizo. And since as a soul group, this is kind of home, nikasema let's do this now. There's something that people need to understand when it comes to life. Now, wait, mbona screen yangu is not responding? Am I still live? What is happening to my TikTok? Imehang, eh? TikTok yangu imehang. TikTok. Kama ni phone imehang. Let me TikTok. Oh, imehang. Finally. So, when you talk of family members, aka the people you call family, now family, this can go very far. This goes even far beyond what you call the people, places, and things that you know. So, when you talk of family, or when you talk of family members, you're not just talking about the people you know. So, when you talk of family, beyond what you are calling family, beyond what you are calling family members, we could also be talking about what you call spirits or entities that are familiar to you. What do I mean? The spirits that are attached to you, the entities that are attached to you, are part of your family, aka as a family member. Na unasikianga ati hii nyumba ama hii familia ni familia ya waganga. Unasikia wakisema hii ni familia ya waganga. They don't just say that one specific person yeye ndi mganga. Wanasemanga hii ni familia ya waganga. So a family member, or what you are calling a spirit entity that is familiar to you, becomes a member of your family. Now, it is paramount and very important to walk away. So when you're in that position where you're talking of, I'm walking away from the troubles in my life, like you have to get to a position where you walk away from these spirits. Now, what happens when you are coming from a spirit or from a family that practices spirituality and you never walked away from it? Because you can also decide, I'm not going to practice these things, I'm choosing a different path. There's nothing wrong with choosing a different path. just because babako alikuwa mganga does not necessarily mean that wewe utakuwa mganga ama practice the same things. Unasikia kwa Wakikuyu wengine wakisema ati twacinire mwana ati anga nitwakirie mbogo cituruwe na maundu mangĩ ta mau. Now, if you don't walk away from these things, poverty becomes the order of the family. What do I mean? Poverty and hostility are the same thing. AKA, let's say I'm very hostile to you. Sitakangi kukuona, sitakangi kusikia vitu zako na vitu kama hizo. So, my hostility towards you can make me send you negative energy to the point that negative energy becomes poverty. I want you to connect the two. Hostility is poverty. I repeat, when you're in a hostile environment, nothing can thrive. So hostility is poverty. Now, in the same context, if you have what you call an improvised mind or mindset, that becomes the same thing. Now, I want you to imagine that you have come to a place where you have 6 doors, milango sita. Now, whichever door you decide to walk through, when you are picking one door to walk through, let's say these are 6 doors. When you pick one door, the other 5 doors become your enemy. Because that is a choice you didn't check. AKA, when you are walking through what you call a personal door to happiness, which is what you call completing a cycle. There are people around you who, when they see you, and when they see that you are not going the same way that they went through, that becomes hostility. Umesikia umekonfirmiwa hiyo ni punde inachapwa. Sikiza. Umesikia viboko? Umesikia viboko, hiyo ni punde inachapwa kwa barabara. Viboko imechapwa viboko mbaya sana na imevuta. So at the exact moment when tumeongea about the people around you. So when the people around you don't see you going through the same doors that they went through, aka when family members around you, if they don't see you suffering the same way they suffered, that becomes hostility. They are hostile towards you. They are like, how dare you au kusafa kama sisi, how dare you au kukosa stima, how dare you had food to eat. And this goes deep because this is even what you are suffering from your parents. The reason your parents hate you, the reason millennials hate you is because nyinyi mnapelekanga watoto shule na gari zenyu. Nyinyi watoto wenyu shule wanaendanga na school van. Wazazi wenyu, they used to walk to school many miles. Hata ukisikiza story zako anakuambia sisi tulisoma tukiweka miguu kwa maji. Sisi tulikuwa tunaenda miles and miles. Nida avamangira muranga da bata ile magai kurukira. Now here you are telling your parents ati mtoto wangu nimemlipia school transport 20,000 a month. 20k a month school transport. Or 10,000. Ama unaambia mamako ati mimi na dropping mtoto jioni nachukuliwa na mamake. Now that is what I'm speaking about because the moon is in Cancer. So I'd like us to feel at home and heal. So this will be about reparenting yesterday, reparenting Tuesday yesterday, alafu nishikanisha na message ya leo. Are you following? So now, that hostility that your mom feels towards you, that your father feels toward you, aka that hostility is poverty. Because their mind is not working right. And you have to learn how to walk away from those places, things, and people. AKA, you don't have to tell your mom everything. Na hapa ndio nyinyi mnaangukanga. Your mom is not supposed to know everything about you. Your father is not supposed to know everything about you. Not because they are your enemies, but because what I talked about. As a family member, you are also family members with what we call spirit entities that are familiar to you. So as a family, as a collective, as a spiritual group, unatokanga kwa hiyo familia wale ni waizi. Familia wale ni waganga. Familia wale sijui ni watumishi. So, whether you like it or not, the spirits or the entities around you will be the ones that are familiar to you. Now, when you wake up, wewe mwenyewe, now you have decided to wake up, now you are doing shadow work, now you are healed. So you have completed the cycle. The people around you, when they don't see you going through the same shit they went through, that becomes hostility. And what they fail to realize is that maybe if you are to give them your shoes, they can't even last a second in your shoes. But people fail to realize that if a person is not going through the same situation, but is a witness of that same situation, then they have a similar, if not a greater effect than the one actually going through that thing. Hapa sasa ndio tunaongeanga about cry babies. Let me make it sense for you, because some of you, I know you have small minds. Now, you've heard of witness protection kwa court cases. I like giving you examples in your world. Unasikia, oh, that person is on witness protection. That person is on witness protection. AKA, there's something they witnessed and they have to be protected for the rest of their lives, because whatever they witnessed can have them killed. So I'm giving you examples in the 3D that some people can be put on what you call witness protection. Now, in the spiritual world, it is the same thing, aka that whenever someone is going through a situation, if I am the witness, aka unasikia mtu akisema ati huyu jamaa hawezi ingia kwa maji kwa sababu ile kitu aliona ilifanya kuwe so traumatized they can never get anywhere near a swimming pool. Ama unasikia huyo jamaa endangi na gari, he survived, tuteme hiyo mate, he survived such a bad incident he cannot get near a car. AKA, if you have witnessed a situation, sometimes whatever you witnessed, the same effects can be similar to you, if not greater. Like that effect can actually impact you more than mwenye alisurvive ama mwenye alipata iyo whatever they went through. Those effects can be even greater on you than on them. Okay? So na hapa sasa ndio tunafikanga tunaongea about influencers and what is happening to your influencers. The reason why akina Saizate wako TikTok kama akina Kanyari usiku wakiomba maombi, they are crashing. They are crashing. I can go deeper into what is happening to them spiritually, but maybe that's a story for another day. Now, remember what I talked about, nikiongea about family members and what you call spirits, entities that are familiar to those people and why you need to walk away. Na ndio nasikianga waho na hu berada. When you go to the Kikuyus, they talk about ukishiba funika tumbo. It doesn't talk about eating food ama kushiba. This is the energy we are talking about. Whereby when you come a complete cycle, aka when you break generational curses, good things are going to start falling into your lap. You may start getting business opportunities that you have never witnessed in your family. You have never seen your dad do that kind of thing. You have never seen your family members do those kind of things. Now you have to be very careful with whom you are sharing that information with. Before you share that information, the person you want to share the information with first, look at their situation. This could even be your significant other, even a wife, a husband, a close friend, a brother, a sibling. Now, if they have not witnessed that thing in their family, let's say in their family hakujai kuwa na graduation, let's say in their family hakujai kuwa na harusi, let's say in their family hakujai kuwa those kind of things, the moment you share that information with them, it doesn't even have to be them. Remember what I said, the moon is in Cancer, we are talking about home, is that as a family member, they may have spirits or entities that are familiar to them, around them. In the spiritual world, this is why we talk of, you have spiritual guides, we talk of spiritual protectors, we talk of angels and demons who are always around you. Okay? Now, what happens is that the entities or those spirits now, okay, how do they affect you? They either inspire you or they are going to influence a thought based on the fact that that similar entity or spirit or family member may have witnessed something in the past. You are all connected. That is why munasemanga you are connected to your grandfather. This is why I keep telling you. And learn these things. Don't call on all ancestors as not, hey, my ancestors. Some of your ancestors are your biggest enemies. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you had ancestors who had been locked up. So these would be ancestors. Let's say, for example, the ancestors walikuwa wameshikwa wakati wa the fake Mau War, or these are ancestors who are in slave ship, again a fake war, or this is an ancestor who has been in jail. Now, the spirit of going to jail means that in some point in their life, they were locked up. Now, when you are locked up, it doesn't necessarily have to be in jail, physical. But to be locked up means you are mentally locked up. Kwa sababu jela, unamuka ile masaa umeambiwa, unakula mroro ile masaa unaambiwa, unalala ile masaa unaambiwa. So that is to be mentally locked up. Okay? So now those spirits, these are familiar spirits to you. These are familiar members. This was your father. This was your grandfather. Now, the more you share, or if you don't walk away from these things once you become what you call spiritual or an individual soul, okay? And you should never judge. This is why, never judge. Ukiona mtu amefungwa jela, never judge them. Never judge them. There are some things that those people can only learn them when they're in prison. Tuteme hiyo mate. We don't want anyone watching this video to be in that vibe of getting locked up, because this is very deep. Okay? Now, anyone who has been locked up in jail, this is what it means. It means that in their past lives, they were mentally locked up. And this mentally locked up, this goes very deep. Sasa tukitoka hapo, tutaenda all the way into what you call rites of passage. Rites of passage na initiation. Unasikia mtu akiambiwa ati they have not been initiated into adulthood. Sasa hapa tutaenda tuingia all the way deep into maneno ya irua, and why initiation is very important when it was done the right way. So a lot of the poverty that is befalling some of you, especially the Kikuyu people, is because you don't understand what it means, initiation, the rite of passage. Iyo mnaitanga irua atemo okira one day moka ne turateiri irua gotihokona irua mwako. No, it has got nothing to do with you. Remember, there are spirit members and entities that are close to that spiritual rite of passage. Na saa zile mmesema tiretoateiri irua, you are blocking mental. These are thoughts and feelings. This is the 4th, 5th and 6th dimension. That is what you are fucking with. Okay, you are not fucking with the physical. You are fucking with the mind. You are fucking with Rera, the 4th, 5th and 6th dimension. You are fucking with the thoughts and feelings. You are playing around in the thought realm, the imaginations, the dream world. Shout out to the moon in Cancer. Now, for example, niliona Kabuda. Shout out to Kabuda. Kabuda ni conductor. I'm going to give an example na Kabuda. Kabuda ni conductor. Wasijui 17B Sako Mweki, whatever he is. Now, we know Kabuda for being a conductor wa matatu. That is why Kabuda became famous. Beba, 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 Kabuda. Then TikTok came. So, Kabuda now walked through a door. So, remember what I said. We have 6 doors. So, once you walk through one door, Kabuda decided, I'm going to walk into this door, niachane na matatu. Sijui kama bado anafanyanga kazi ya matatu na vitu kama hizo. The moment you go a path and you do not walk away from the path that you are in before, you are in for a lot of trouble. Na ndio naona mtu kama size 8 amecrash. Size 8 watu wanamjua akiimba secular, not gospel, secular. So size 8 alikuwa mtu wa kuimba secular. Akashikana na DJ Mo, akakuwa wa gospel kwa sababu kuna pesa. Sasa wamekochana na DJ Mo, akaenda hivyo akakuwa pastor. Now this is the downfall. The door you decide to walk through, which maybe is not your gift and talent, what you are leaving behind is entities and spirits and close family members who by default become your enemy. What do I mean? Poverty starts befalling you. Now you may think poverty is money. No, poverty has got nothing to do with money. You can have all the money in the world, but you have poverty. AKA, you can have all the money in the world, your children are committing suicide. You can have all the money, all the land, mtoto wako anaanguka na kanyango na tractor. So unajua mimi wapea message as they come. Unaweza kuwa na all the money, tunasikia umecommit suicide. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. The moon is in Cancer. Welcome to the new world. So that energy that I'm talking about is what you are calling the hostility energy, whereby there are hostile people who don't like what they see in you just because you're not going through the same path that they went. So all of a sudden you have it easy. All of a sudden, and this goes deep. Ndio naonanga Wajaluo, atunasikia Mjaluo anaenda Kisumu, ati akifika town anabadilisha nguo. Why? Because anajua that the neighbors wakimuona amekuja nyumbani na nguo mpya na gari mpya, atarogwa. Si ati anarogangwa direct ati wanaenanga wanamroga. No, it is because of the spiritual entities that surround their family members, or what you call the familiar spirits. The familiar spirits that you're connected to as family members. Are you following? Wacha nione kwanza comments. Nione kama I'm talking to my people, I'm talking to new subscribers. Afternoon, brother. That's someone who's been here. Tayo, Wagwang. You are live. Those are my people. Shout out to the soul group. Yes, we hear you. Shout out to the soul group. Yeah. Nice. I'm not just talking to new subscribers when they are not into spiritual shit. So I don't want to be casting pearls to swine where I'm just talking and you're not getting the message. So the familiar entities or spirits that surround you, the moment you walk away, the moment you find a new door, you open that door, you have decided to heal, you have decided to start a new life, you have decided to do the right thing. Wewe umeamua, mimi sitakaa kama babangu, mimi nitapeleka mahari, mimi sitafukuza bibi yangu. Like the moment you do that, by default you create enemies in the spiritual world. Because what you are doing is that you are completing a cycle, but you are completing a cycle that is opposite to their cycles. Now you are going to what you call a door of happiness. What they don't understand is that if you are to give them your shoes, they cannot even walk a mile in them. But that doesn't count. What do I mean? There's a guy, ako TikTok. I think he's an adult entertainer. I can't remember his name. All those people who are watching me, unaweza niambia kuna huyu jamaa anakuanga nani anamjua. Shout out to my moderator, my beautiful moderator. She sent me a DM. She sent me a DM on this guy. So there's a moderator. No, he's a sexual worker, adult business, adult entertainer. Anakuanga na geese, anaenanga fishing na wanakaa sijui na mamake, and there's an episode anaenanga analipia sister yake college fees, anamgonga na pesa, I'm clearing your college fees na vitu kama hizo. That guy, I don't know his name. I'm talking now specifically about that guy as an example. The family member, yeah, that guy, turned burnt Tony, whatever he is. You see, the family member cannot walk a mile in his shoes as an adult entertainer. However, the money he's making from adult entertainment is changing their lives. Now, that those family members, at the moment, ni marafiki wake because he's paying their bills and everything. Now, the moment hostility starts in that family, because unless he walks away from them now, one day he has to wake up and walk away from them totally. Do everything for them and walk away from them. Because the moment they start thinking, I cannot walk a mile in his shoes, that will become hostility. Now, that hostility will become poverty. Poverty, or what you call mind, their mind will be impoverished, aka not fulfilled. And that is where now you manifest the spirit of jail or being locked up. Mentally first, before it comes to the physical. Now, this is why a lot of celebrities like akina Jay-Z, akina P. Diddy, oh shit, hata sijui kwa nini nimesema Jay-Z. Anyway, he's next. They end up in jail. It's because the people around them that they never cut off totally when they open those doors. When they shook hands with the devil, whoever they shook hands of, Nanionanga, it's always the family members who come to testify against them. It's always the family members who come to spill the beans because they share too much information with them. So, be careful. With the spirit of poverty. When you start seeing symptoms of poverty, you are doing the best you can. You are fighting tooth and nail. You are doing the right things that you're supposed to be doing. You know you are doing in the works, but you can't understand what is happening. Understand that poverty is coming from hostility of you having chosen to walk through some doors, healing, choosing better for yourself, for your siblings, and other people, and your parents. Tunazanga na familia, moon in Cancer. Your family are not happy. Your father is not happy that unalipia mtoto wako international school. Anakuambia aturagira mwana wako ngiri magana icio ciothe pesa imutumio ciake kwa kila muthenya umwe gutige. That is what I'm talking about. That hostility that you hear from family. Turagurire gari na engine igana atia. Hiyo engine yote utaweza aje kuweka mafuta? That hostility. That hostility. Because if you don't know how to protect yourself spiritually from that hostility, if you don't know how to say no, because sometimes you have to say no, these things comes and bite you in the ass. And this is one of the biggest enemies of Africans. Na unasikianga Africans wakisema wanaitanga black tax, that the moment wewe umeanza kuingiza pesa ndio mamako anashikangwa na ugonjwa wa sukari. Akiwa na mabako angeshikwa na ugonjwa wa sukari. When your mother was struggling with your father, angekuwa na diabetes. When your mother was struggling with your father, angeshikwa na high blood pressure. The moment you get promoted at work, wewe. The moment you get money, wewe, is the moment mamako anashikwa na ugonjwa wa pressure na sukari. Why? That hostility whereby now you are walking in places she didn't walk. She doesn't care that she cannot fit your shoes. Maybe your only funds ndio upata hiyo pesa. And your mom cannot even show her old sag titties na vitu kama hizo kwa only funds. But your hostility becomes the poverty that locks you down. Not all information is worth sharing, because your family members, they may not be the problem, but the familiar spirits attached to them based on lineage could be your biggest problem. Do have a beautiful audience Wednesday afternoon. Unless you have a question, let me see if there's a question before I head away. Nasikia hata kuku imecomplain. Nasikia kuku imesikia hiyo mbogo ikasikia wow shit. Ndio hiyo. That is how far shit goes, you know. Yeah, hiyo story ni noma. Hata kuku imesema oh fuck, lineage mayai na vitu kama hizo. So there's no question. So if there's no question, let me see how many minutes. I have 10 minutes if you have any question. Just 10 minutes and then we can end this live. Okay? 10 minutes and then we can end the live. This is hostility even from those lineages you surround yourself with. Yeah. So you have to, that's why they have those sayings. Wahona hu berada, siamusi eti somo, siamusi, kagotoi kamusi gatihaka wa mugeni. It's not talking about hiyo mafuta ya nyumbani ati ipakangwi watu wa nje ufikirie ni strangers. No, it means mugeni means even these people you are with, these are siblings. Okay? Be very careful. Be very careful. Especially now, these times we are in, we're in a new world. So the old energies are coming back, the new spirits are coming back, the old spirits are coming back here because we're in a new world, in a new shift. And some of these are similar spirits or similar or familiar family entities. So when they come into this world and they find you, oh shit, this person is doing better, you find yourself in those hostilities where shit seems to be hitting the fan. Unasikia mtu akisema, hey, mimi kutoka nihame huko nikaenda Nairobi niguo maundu makwa magire tamakani ndaumire muciĩ maundu makiagira tamakani na ndio unaona mtu atakihama unaacha wazazi wako unafanyaga kazi Mombasa unahama unakuja Nairobi maneno yako inakuwa mzuri unaishi na wazazi wako Nyeri unahama Nyeri ukikuja Nairobi maisha yako inakuwa mzuri you see them once in a while that way they don't get to know about your stuff not because of them some of them is them the hostility where your parents feel bad when they see your success because you remind them of what they didn't do. Now, behind the scenes, we also have what we call familiar entities and spirits that are attached to you that may not like that. Sasa, so prepare for the downfall of Akina size 8. They are going to fall in a hard way just because of the familiar spirits, okay, entities that are not happy with the things that they are doing, but they don't know these things. And on that note, I'm looking for a man. Wacha niwaambie kuna mtu natafuta. How do I disconnect na those familiar spirits and words spoken? So, first, you can always tell when you are connected to familiar spirits that don't want you. How do you know? Observe yourself. We are going to have another program. You know how we do program, tunafanyanga programs za meditation, gratitude challenge. I'm going to start another one, very important one, whereby I want you people to start, we are going to do like a dream journaling thing, where I'll show you how to track your dreams so that you know or you identify the moles that drag you down that are family members that you have no idea about. How are we going to do this? We are going to start a group, kwa ile WhatsApp group. I'll tell you. I'm going to set it up today. We can start by, we'll talk about it today. So by Monday, next week, we can start. We'll be writing our dreams down. Not in the group, but as an individual. Wewe ukiamuka utakuwa unaandika your dream down. I'll show you the format. Then, so when you wake up, you write, when you wake up in the morning, you write what the plan for the day. Hata kama hakuna mahali utaenda, leo nataka nikate fence. The plan for the day, whether you are going to do it or not, it doesn't matter. Nitakata fence, nafanya hivi na hivi, you write it down. Then, before you go to sleep, we write what you accomplished from what ulikuwa umesema utafanya. Unaandikanga hapo kando. Then, before you go to bed, you drink some water and leave some water by the side of the bed. And you talk to the water and say, nikikunywa maji asubuhi, inikumbushe what I dream about. You are connected. We are all in water. Everything around you is water. Everything, we are in a water world. We are all stars. So, when you dream, the next day, the first thing you do in the morning, the next day, you write your dream down as much as you can remember. Si lazima uandike yote. As many details as you can remember, you write it down. But you're not going to read it. You write it down. Then, you turn a page. You write the plans for that day, venye umepanga. Then in the evening on that page, utaandika what you accomplished. Then unalala. The next day, you write your dream. We are going to do this practice for a month. And then you are going to read together. Then you are going to realize that you actually live your dream, but your dream are directed by the people you meet during the day. How will you know? You are going to see a pattern. You are going to see a pattern that jioni, how your day went, unaandikanga, how your day went, unaandika, my sister alinipigia, my brother, ama my auntie, ama my dad, aliniambia akanituma. So unaandikanga hapo jioni. Then you are going to start realizing that every time you make great plans to do for the day, you never knew this before, but through the dream journal, uta realize every time you have an opportunity coming, something was supposed to go your day, uta realize through the dream that your father always called you that day and derailed you, or your mother, or your sister, or someone. Now, once you realize the patterns, that's how now you start cutting them off. You don't cut them off if you don't talk to them, but now you realize you don't always have to pick your father's phone. You don't always have to pick your mother's phone. You can decide you'll be the one calling and calling them when you want, at your own time. This can be people, places and things, situations and circumstances that kuna mahali wewe unaendanga, hujaijua. But kuna place ya movie unaendanga, utajua through the dreams. But every time you go to that movie place, your whole week is ruined, but you don't even know how that happens. Shit is deep. That is the dream thing that I'm getting ready to create, that we are going to do again as a group. And that is going to also now help you determine, oh shit, these are the patterns we are talking about. These are the familiar entities, the familiar spirits, the familiar people, places, and things that I go to. Places you go to have their own awareness. Buildings, utaanza kurealize, fuck, kumbe every time nikienda hiyo choo ya kanjo siuzangi. How do you know? Juu kwa siku yako utakuwa umeandika nilikuwa Girogoni, nikapita Kirinyaga Road, nikapita choo ya kanjo, nikalipa 10 bob. Na ni mahali pengine unapitanga. Then utaanza kurealize every time I go to that choo ya kanjo, nashikangwa na kanjo hiyo wiki. Every time naenda hiyo choo ya kanjo, mzigo yangu inashikangwa. It's deep. It's deep. But you have to do the journaling. You have to do the moon journaling to start detecting those things. Shit is deep. Now, like I said, spirituality is not laziness. You have to put in the works. And that is now how you shed all those unnecessary weight. So utakuwa unajua sitaingia matatu fulani, inaitwa fulani. Juu every time nikiingia matatu, shit goes to. Lakini hujaijua, you know, because you have never done a dream journaling, you have actually never realized that kuna mtu akikusalimia, they fuck up your whole day. But as a family member, anakusalimianga pengine mse wa duka, but unless you do the dream journaling, you never realize that, oh shit. When we are done, we are going to go through the notes now. Then you are realizing, oh shit, there's a pattern. Every time nimerealize nikisalimia Kenodia, the next day, naachangwa na gari, the next day, mashini kazini inakwama or something. Those are what we are calling familiar entities or familiar spirits, people, places, and things that surround you, that when you are awake, you need to cut them off, aka, like Greg David, walk away from. Now, sometimes, it's not even them, they don't even mean to do those things to you. It's because of also the familiar spirits that they are attached to, that you're not even aware. Unajua wewe ukuangi aware. Si wewe ni mtu wa kanisa. Si wewe unaendanga tu, si wewe unamkanga tu unalala hata ujui vitu kama hizo. So by default you are guilty whether you know it or you don't know it. And that is how those things happen. Wacha nione kama kuna swali lingine hapa before I go. Sitaki kuongea sana. I don't want to cast pearls to swine. There's too much information coming through, but the people are not ready. Na hakuna haja tuiongea hapa for no reason. It's like wasting our breath, casting pearls to swine. Hata Bible imekataa. This is hostility. Hiyo tumesoma. That opened my eyes now. How do I connect? Hiyo tumesoma. How do we protect yourself from familiar spirits? Now, wewe join the dream thing. Kama unataka to end deeper, you can protect yourself. You can say, come, pengine you're not hujafika hiyo kiwango, so you can say a prayer, not a prayer yenye mnaombanga, but you can create a mantra that you keep saying around you. You know, I detach myself from unwanted energies. I call back my power from places that is not supposed. All those are mantras that you can. Don't pray useless prayers. Your words are powerful. Become the creator. You are the creator. You are not the creation. Speak positive things around you all the time. Beautiful things love me. You know, learn affirmations. Affirm like you are stupid. Every day affirmations that work for you. Read your Bible, pray every day. Pray, P-R-E-Y. Go after what you want to come into your life. Attract that shit. Become that shit. Become that light. Become that thing that you want. Stop letting Jesus take the wheel and you don't even know where Jesus is taking you. All these lights out there, imaginations and illusion. That is why you don't even have cures. Take your power back. This is a new world. You say you are a son of God. Act like it. Jesus, I want to be like you. Be like him. Act like him. Walk in faith. Walk over water. Walk over your emotions. Watch your emotion. Tell my mom, sasa nisipompigia. No, walk over your emotions. Moon in Cancer. Thank you for the message. So hamuna swali niende, how do I join? My number iko hapo. That number is not for calling, it's for WhatsApp. Get on WhatsApp if you are serious about. Don't come to my page for nonsense. Usikuja ati jumekuja live nataka tu kujoin. No. When you come through WhatsApp, I'll put you in my WhatsApp group. Actually is open. Hata ijafungwa. Iko community. Get on your WhatsApp wewe. Get on your WhatsApp wewe, ingia kwa WhatsApp yako sahi. Look for what's the name of my community page? Shit. Something spiritual, whatever name. Wewe koko. Yaani utoke huko tu ukuje upande kwa kitu uanze ende ucheze huko. Okay? So, yeah, get there. There's a community page for spirituality. It's open for anyone. Join. Then in there, I'm going to communicate about now the practice. The practice will be on a side note. There's a donation for the practice, for your seriousness. Then you get on the practice. There's power in numbers. That is even why these people, they do global rituals together. There's power in numbers. So when we are doing a ritual as a group, a practice like that one as a group, it's much more powerful. Pia wewe ukifanya, ukicomment na watu wanaona una participate. Okay? That's how we do it. What's up the pink? Okay. The information is true. Hakunanga kitu true in this world. There's not true or lies in this world, but we have truth. You see the difference? Nothing is true and nothing is a lie. Because even inside a lie, there's some truth. Because when you debunk a lie, that becomes a true thing. There's no true or lying, but we have truth. Okay? Let me see. Yeah, that's my name. So get on your WhatsApp sahi. Tafuta Spiritual Rebirth. That's our community page. It's global. Join. I'ma send a request. Then inside you're going to find the practice for the dream journaling. Right there. Hapo kuna kuanga na practices mingi sana. Sometimes we even do 2 or 3 at the same time depending on mtu anataka gani. Gratitude challenge. Sasa we'll be doing the moon one. Very important. Especially now that we have the moon at half mast. Siko half. Si moon is in Cancer. Na ukiangalia nje unaiona saa hii toka nje utaona mwezi iko pale juu. Iko nusu. I can see. You know you guys, I can see. Can see this comment. This conversation is what we need, but every day we are on distraction, TV, radio, and TV show. No, you need all information, even entertainment, even the garbage sometimes you consume is also good for you. Even gossip is good for you. Nothing is bad. It's just that sometimes you get too lost on one polar shift, whereby now you get too polarized. Sometimes you have to separate from something, and sometimes you have to connect with something. So sometimes you have to choose to be righteous, and sometimes you have to choose the left-hand path, aka you become a spiritual sensei. What do I mean? You do what you call spiritual jump roping. Spiritual jump roping. You take like when unafanyanga skipping. Yani wewe uguzangi chini, uko tu unaskippingi tu hapo, unachezeanga hapo. You neither separate yourself nor connect. You choose the center path. You do not become too polarized. There's time to be righteous. There's times that you're supposed to do the right thing. Umekula maembe, umeangusha maganda, unachukua. That's being righteous. There's a time you need to separate yourself. Ndiyo ile ni paka iko kwa barabara, but unajua ukijaribu kuenda kuchukua hiyo paka uisave ako kakiten kwa Thika Road, something wrong can happen. So you separate yourself and let whatever happen to the cat happen to the cat. Hata inafanya nini kwa barabara. That's how you're supposed to be smart in the world. When you need to connect, you connect. When you need to separate, you separate. AKA, you become a spiritual sensei. Or what you call someone who's physically fit in the spiritual mind, and body. So be spiritually fit, mentally fit, and physically fit. And I love you from the bottom of my heart. Do have a beautiful day. Ciao, ciao.